You ever hear a story that makes you stop and go, damn, karma really took her time, but when she arrived, she showed up with fireworks? Well, that's exactly what happened to my friend Emily, and I was there to see the whole thing unfold. From the moment her life fell apart to the day she walked away with the sweetest revenge I've ever seen. So buckle up. This one's got everything: love, betrayal, a little courtroom drama, and one hell of a poetic ending. And hey, if you enjoy stories where justice serves itself cold, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I've got more of these coming your way. I met Emily about 10 years ago, right after she kicked her ex-husband out of the house. At that point, she was holding her 2 little kids on her hips and holding her life together with pure willpower. See, her ex, let's call him Rick, was one of those guys who looked perfect on the outside. Charming, funny, the kind of guy who always knew what to say at a barbecue. But behind closed doors, he was poison. Emily told me once that when they first got married, he insisted she quit her job after their first baby was born. A mother's place is at home, he said. But what he really meant was, I want control. And she did it, because that's what you do when you believe in the person you married. By the time their second kid came along, things had gone from bad to ugly. She found out he was cheating. Classic story. A younger woman from his office, some late-night texts that didn't quite add up, and one slip-up too many. When she confronted him, Rick didn't even deny it. He just turned mean. Not just the yelling kind of mean. Emily said there were nights she'd lock herself in the kids' room just to feel safe. The final straw came when he snapped at their oldest, just a little boy back then. That's when she threw him out. That was 2012. And man, the aftermath was brutal. Rick cut her off completely. No money, no help. He froze her bank accounts, lied to the bank, told them some garbage story to get her cards locked. She couldn't afford daycare, couldn't go back to work, and she had no family nearby. The guy even said, the courts haven't ordered you to give me a dime, like he was proud of it. It took months, 6 of them, to get a judge to finally order child and spousal support. When it came through, Rick was furious. He didn't pay a cent until his wages got garnished, and by then he was thousands behind. But that back pay gave Emily something important: permission to move away, to start over somewhere else. And she did. She got a small apartment, picked up part-time work, and focused on raising her kids. The woman was a machine, stronger than most people I know. A year later, she met someone new, a good guy. They got married, quiet ceremony, no drama. For the first time in years, she was smiling again. Now here's where things start to twist. When she remarried, she checked her old divorce papers, just to make sure everything was squared away. There was this little box on the form that said, spousal support ends upon remarriage. Guess what? It wasn't checked. So legally, the support continued for another year. She figured, fine, let it ride. It wasn't like she was trying to milk the guy. She just didn't want more drama. So for that year, she got about 12 grand in support and let it go. Didn't even file for her share of his retirement account, which she technically could have. She told me she just wanted peace. Let him keep his damn 401k, she said. I'll keep my sanity. But peace doesn't sit well with people like Rick. 4 years later, out of nowhere, he filed for full custody of the kids. No warning, no reason, just an ambush. That's when he found out she'd remarried years before, and he lost his mind over that extra year of support payments. He claimed she had stolen money from him. Emily tried to reason with him. She said, look, I didn't take your retirement share. I just kept that support instead. Call it even. But Rick wasn't the reasonable type. He demanded every cent back. The judge, probably tired of seeing this guy's name on the docket, came up with the perfect middle finger. He ordered Emily to technically repay the support, but he increased the child support to balance it out. The result? She ended up getting $20 more a month. Rick got to feel like he had won, while she just smiled and said, sure, whatever you say. He dropped his custody case right after that. Guess the judge's math lesson hit him where it hurt. But Emily was done being nice. If he wanted to play hardball, fine, she'd bring the bat. She filed for her share of his retirement account, something she'd let go years earlier. Rick, of course, fought it tooth and nail. He dragged it out for 4 years. 4! Every delay, every excuse, every motion. The court got so fed up, they sanctioned him, made him pay her $600 a month for a year on top of everything else. And then they found him in contempt. Fast forward to 2021. Rick's life looked picture perfect again. He just proposed to his new girlfriend. Let's call her Tina. Big engagement party, the whole thing plastered on Facebook. Meanwhile, Emily was still waiting on that retirement split. Then May rolled around and she got the call. The check had cleared. She opened that envelope and almost dropped it. The amount was 4 times what she'd gotten in spousal support. She told me later, I thought it'd be around 12 grand. Turns out it was enough to buy a car, pay off debt, and still have room for a vacation. She just laughed, because that's what karma does. It takes its sweet time, then hits like a sledgehammer. Rick found out about the payout, of course, and man, did he spiral. He blamed her for everything. His fiancée even emailed Emily furious, saying it was her fault Rick wouldn't marry her now. Tina wrote something like, "You ruined his life. You stole his retirement money. You're the reason he can't move forward." Emily, being the calm queen she is, replied, "I gave him a choice years ago. Let me keep the support, or I'll file for the retirement. He chose the retirement. That's not theft, sweetheart. That's math." And she added, "If you're that worried about money, you two can always sign a prenup. Protect what's left." Tina's response, "I shouldn't have to sign a prenup because you robbed him." That was when Emily realized the universe had finished the story for her. Rick lost more than money. He lost his pride, his relationship, and that illusion of control he'd built his whole life around. And Emily? She walked away debt-free, stronger, and finally untangled from the man who'd spent years trying to break her. When she told me all this, she laughed, not the bitter kind, but that deep, peaceful laugh that comes when you know you've already won. "I never wanted revenge," she said. "I just wanted him out of my life. But if life wanted to add a little bonus on top, who am I to argue?" Now, I know some people will hear this and say, she just got lucky. But luck doesn't fight 4 years of court battles. Luck doesn't raise 2 kids alone. That's grit. That's survival. And maybe a little poetic justice. You know, sometimes I think about how Rick told her, "The court hasn't ordered you to give me a dime." Funny how that same court ended up ordering him to give her thousands. I guess the lesson is this: don't play stupid games unless you're ready for the stupid prizes. And to anyone out there dealing with their own version of a Rick, keep going. You don't have to fight dirty, just stand your ground. Karma's got a long memory and an impeccable sense of timing. If you've made it this far, you're probably like me, someone who appreciates a little justice with their morning coffee. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, have you ever seen karma deliver the perfect comeback? Because stories like Emily's, they remind me why I believe in it.